Right, we are live. What's going on, guys? How's it going?
Hey everyone.
Live and alive.
Hello, hello, hello.
How's everyone doing today? Happy Tuesday, guys.
Hope you all had a good day so far.
I just got a notification that Thrift Beast was going live.
Oh,
Yeah, that
I'm
was
gonna
a
check
quick
that out.
notification. Usually you get it in an hour.
Yeah, I know, right? I've
Hello,
been
Lynn.
noticing that. So yeah, let's before we get to our debutante of the evening, we let's say what's up to everyone here in the chat. What is going on, everyone?
What's up, everyone in the chat?
So let's see. We have Cajun. How's it going? We got
Hello.
Tim already in the second person. We got Velocity Sales, which is Anna. Good to see.
Hey Anna.
We got Anthony Pittsburgh. We got Dwayne Mothership Products. Good to see you, my friend. Glad to see you
Dwayne.
here. We got Kaya. How's it going? We have Lisa and Rob, couple of pickers. How's it going? We have Lynn. Thank you for stopping by. We have Val. Val Milk. Good to see you.
You skipped right over Thrift BCQ and Jody Mitoma's videos. Why don't you
Yeah,
give them
I
some
know.
love?
Sorry. Okay, Jody. We got Thrift Bizzle. What's up? We got Candace. We got Craig. How's it going? Good to see you guys. We got Anthony Froggy Flips. Good to see you, buddy. We got Alexis. Good to see you. And we got Mr. Kent Daigle. And then we got Tanya, the Canadian eBayer. There you go. Another Canadian content right there. All right, good to see you guys. Thanks for stopping by. Seriously, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, you guys rock. Thanks for
One
hanging
big cornucopia of awesomeness.
Oh yeah. So how has your days been, guys? Let's start with you, Jody.
My day?
Yeah.
Oh, it hasn't been too bad. I haven't been up for too long though, so
Oh, for real?
yeah. Yep.
Nice.
I'll be up all night.
Nice.
What about you, Cliff?
I had a good day today. I released probably one of my most epic 3D printing videos that I've ever released. And I got a nap in, and
Nice.
yeah, now I got coffee.
Gotta say, I really enjoyed that video, especially the last bit. That was awesome.
It actually took me quite a while to put that 4.5 minutes together.
Yeah, I believe it.
'Cause every time I'd get it polished up just the way I liked it, I'd think of something else to put in there, and then try to get my cat in a cuddly mood, for crying out loud, and get him on camera. As soon as he saw his picture on the monitor, he wanted to go. He wanted to leave. And get him on camera. Hi. As soon as he saw his picture on
Was that me? Who was that?
What was that?
That's not me.
No, that was.
I thought you said my voice changer was good.
That was Jesse's mom trying to watch us.
Oh,
She didn't have the volume.
But you're right there.
She wanted to get the whole feel for all four of us.
okay.
But you should have seen how fast she tried to close the laptop. She put on the mute button. She was like,
How's your day been, Tim?
so my day. I woke up. I was telling you guys before, I woke up and I'm like right up in here, like in that armpit to like, whoa. Chris is yellow. There you go. Like right up in here, it's like sore. So I was hooping, I was hooping last night, and I was putting in work. You know what I'm saying? Grabbing rebounds, shooting. So like, I usually wake up the next day and I'm kind of like, so I'm a little sore. And then last night I was supposed to list after basketball, right? But I got on the couch and Josie put on Netflix, and what's trending right now is Outbreak. So I was like, have you ever seen that movie? She's like, no. And I was like, dude, you have to watch this movie. And of course she fell asleep 2 minutes into the movie, and I end up watching the whole movie and not listening to anything. So I went to sleep at like 2:30 in the morning, woke up. My mom is still a little under the weather, so no packing assistant today.
Oh, no.
So I had to do all the packing myself. But it wasn't as bad today as it had been yesterday, and tomorrow is a crucial day of shipping because I do 3-day processing for Etsy orders because the glass and stuff, because it takes longer to pack. So tomorrow I got like 14 pieces I got to go out, but today it was only like 6 orders. But it was a combination of hats. I sold a softball glove. I sold a Wedgwood dish. I sold a brass mini bird cage. So I shipped all that out today, and then after that, I went to the post office. And then after I went to the post office, there's like a little opportunity shop, sort of thrift shop called Prevention for Blindness right by the post office. Okay. So I stopped in there. I picked up 2 Pyrex dishes, like older refrigerator dishes with the lids, $3 each. So I'm stoked about that. And then I got this thing called it's like for little girls, but it's kind of old. It came out in like 2003. They're called password journals. They're electronic things, and I guess you say a password to open it and write it in the journal. Yeah. But I found 2 of them still in the package, sealed. Nice, brand new, and they were comped out for like $30 to $40 each. Oh, so nice. I grabbed those 2 things, and then I went to another thrift store because I got like, how like sometimes you're not planning on going sourcing, but you just go to the first spot and then you're like, dang, I got the itch going. Like I just found a couple things. Let me go to the next one. So then I went to another thrift store and I ended up being there for like 2 hours, and I got like 5 pieces of clothes, another Pyrex dish, a CD, Discman, Walkman, Sony. So yeah, that was then I came home and I ate some Brussels sprouts and asparagus, and then I drove from Maryland to DC, and I just ate a steak. Thank you to Josie's mom. She just hooked me up with a nice big steak and salad and some sweet potato. Because sweet potato I can eat, regular potato I can't eat on this like kind of diet thing I'm doing. But she said my belly look a little better now.
That's good.
Yeah, so that was my day. It wasn't a really short day. I kind of told you guys everything I did.
That's awesome, man. You had a busy day already.
All my days seem to be like that nowadays.
How about yourself, Chris?
Yeah, no, I was pretty busy today. I'm exhausted already. I went to like 4 thrift stores today.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm pretty wiped out, and I found some decent stuff. What did I get? I found some more perfume, and like they were going for pretty good money. Like luckily they were like $10, but they're worth like 90. Like they sell for 90. So I'm excited for that. Always happy when I find like good quality perfume or eau de toilette, as you like to call it.
Right.
But yeah, I had what, eau de toilette?
Eau de toilette?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally means toilet water.
Toilet water.
That's the fancy way to say it, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start using that. Eau de toilette?
Oh.
Oh, eau de toilette?
Yeah, like OH.
Oh, de toilette.
Yeah.
It's perfume. It's smelly water. Perfume.
Smelly toilet water.
Hey, Chris.
Oh, we got some more people in here. Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining us. We have a special guest today, as you can see. We have Mr. Tim, a.k.a. Over the Years. Thanks so much for being here, sir.
My pleasure. I'm ready to have some fun tonight.
Oh yeah. So, I guess best thing
Just
to
wait
do
till we
right now-
break out the bingo cards.
Oh gosh.
Dude, I crushing some bingo, man. Any game. Like I'm like in nature, I'm like competitive. So like I love to play games. Any game, I'm game. I'm game for any game. But
I'll give you a picture of bingo in my town. I am one of 30 residents in my town. That's how big it is. And on bingo night, it goes up to damn near 200.
Oh, jeez.
So where do people come from? They come from out of the
From far and wide, literally.
to play bingo.
There's some people will drive an hour to come play bingo in this town.
That's crazy.
So what are the prizes?
It's typical. They don't have satellite bingo anymore. Like it was basically one bingo hall in Edmonton would run all the bingo halls all over Alberta for the satellite games. But you could win the progressive. Last time I went, it was about 15,000.
$15,000?
Yeah, and the first Tuesday of every month is $1,000 bonanza. So there's one extra game for the bonanza series. Is $1,000.
$30,000?
1,000.
Oh, 1,000. Okay. Still. So wait, one person wins $1,000?
Yep.
And how many cards can you play at a time?
As many as you can play.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I can play like 15 cards at a time. Do you have like
That's
the bingo
impressive.
markers? And you're like, chow, chow,
Yep.
chow, chow. Dude, so do you win?
I'm not like the bingo lady on Royal Canadian Air Force, but that's a comedy show in Canada here years back. But they had a bingo lady, where she'd just have the steady cigarette hanging out of her mouth, and like she like every time they called a number, she's just like bang 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 bang, and always the guy next to her who has one card goes bingo.
That's hilarious.
It's been a while since I played bingo. Like I've played some bingo scratch offs here and there, but I haven't played like real bingo in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
But now you kind of got me like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm about to ready to go find one of these bingo halls at like there's one on the temple. There's a temple in Laurel. They got that's a big bingo hall in Laurel though. That's like, like the people that don't got the money to go to the casino, but if they had the money to go to the casino, they'd be in the casino and they wouldn't be playing bingo. But
Yeah,
I'm a 15 guy.
Some of those older bingo halls that have like what's called the veteran crew that comes like religiously every week. They get really territorial with their seat sometimes. So if you come in a few minutes before them and sit in their seat, they'll actually come up to you and ask you if they can have that seat.
That's when you gotta lay down the law.
But it's funny in town here. Like old ladies will show up an hour early and just set up all the good luck little trinkets that they have.
Yeah,
And
that's true. I've seen that. Yeah. They're good luck charms.
and they never win nothing.
I like Tommy was talking about. Do they wear those, like, the little visors with the pink, like, and purple and blue? Like, those things probably sell really well to the hipsters on like Grailed and
Like,
Depop.
oh, you mean like the dealer, like what the dealers wear?
Yeah, like, the old school card visors with like
Yeah,
the little
yeah,
translucent bills.
yeah. I remember those.
Like in Jim Carrey's The Mask when he was the accountant.
And he had the
There you
he
go.
had the little bands on his cuffs too. I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Chicky boom, chicky boom. Her name was Lola. That's my joke right there.
All right, guys. So, let's before we get more into what we, like, I guess, like any of our questions or anything, guys. Too, if in the chat, if you have any questions as well, you want to give to Tim, please feel free to put them in the chat. But I guess if you can just introduce yourself as well, Tim, to the people out here. Like, we have a bunch of Canadians in here as well in the chat. So if they aren't aware of you, who you are, just if you can just introduce yourself.
So my name is Tim, and I am a newly full-time reseller. I live in DC, but I operate out of DC and Maryland. So I started off primarily selling on Etsy, and I specialize in antiques and vintage items, specifically glass and china, porcelain, ceramics. But right before I decided to go full time, I expanded into eBay just to kind of like test the waters. And so I started learning about, other things that were possible to resell. And so from eBay, I recently have branched out to Poshmark, Grailed, Depop, Macari. I was down on Macari for a little while because they suspended my account, so I'm just trying to bounce back into the Macari game. But yeah, so now I sell on 6 different platforms, all different types of stuff. Obviously, like, I still sell all my antiques and vintage and glass and china and all that. But I also do sell clothes now, electronics, anything and everything, basically. Like, I used to go to a thrift store and spend 20, 30 minutes in there, tops, sometimes like 15. Now it takes me like 2 to 3 hours to go through a thrift store because I literally look at every section. Like, like sometimes they have, like, in the thrift stores here, they have like fake hair and stuff sometimes.
Mhm.
So like I'll literally go to the fake hair and look it up on eBay and see if I can sell it on eBay. But yeah, that's where I am right now in my reselling journey. I have been full time. My last day of regular work was January 31st, and it is now March 10th. And it is not easy. Like, I talked about it a little bit yesterday on my live, but like, just the transition is very different. Obviously, like, I was sourcing almost at a full-time rate when I was part-time, right? But now it's just the only thing I've been mainly struggling with has been struggling to like map out my days so that I am using my time wisely. But it's a learning process, and every day I try to learn something new. Like, that's like my goal, like, not even just with reselling, but in life. So like, I'm literally always like studying and taking risks and going down rabbit holes on items, just because there's so much to learn out there. Because when I started selling glass and china and things like that, I didn't know anything about that. Like, I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always, been a hustler, a grinder, all that stuff. But I knew very little. I knew what my mom and my father had taught me, just as a kid. I started out selling baseball cards when I was a little kid at the flea market. And like, that was my first like taste of like the hustle. And then, I'm also sober. So I've been sober. In May, I will have been sober for 9 years. So, you know,
That's awesome,
like when I first, in my transition stage of sobriety, I did what we called it the Craigslist hustle. So basically, we would pick up things from the free section on Craigslist and then turn around and resell it on Craigslist. So like that was also like one of like my first like kind of like taste of the game before even knowing that the game existed. And I just was started out selling my mom's stuff in her basement because she wanted to get rid of it. And so like then I realized like damn, there's this crazy market for reselling and like vintage items. I didn't even know about like the whole eBay. I mean, I knew about eBay, but like to me, it was a lot easier to sell my niche items on Etsy. And so it just kind of like snowballed. And now like I'm just trying to like keep building and learning and like hopefully one day, you know, kill the game.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's what I'm talking about.
What do you
Nice.
think about clothing versus glass? To be honest.
Okay, so what I have noticed as far as that right now, for me, a lot of the clothes, it's also, this is difficult. So clothes have been moving somewhat faster, but it's just, all right. So in that aspect, it's the same thing. So there's some glass pieces that I'll get that will sell like within a week, right? Sometimes in a day. And then same thing, there'll be pieces that will sit for months, right? But with the clothes, it's sort of the same thing. Like I've noticed that like I've sold some things like really quick so far, right? Like I sold that Jordan jersey that y'all saw me get. Like I got that for I think it was $3.50 or $4.50, and I sold it for $130 on Grail.
Nice.
Wow.
Like
Nice.
you know, I have the dress shirts, right? Like, but like there's certain things like those like you really have to get it at the right price because the profit margin is not as large sometimes.
Yeah.
Like because a lot of times they're selling things like the clothes, they know what they're selling, right? At a majority of thrift stores. So they price it accordingly. With glass or china, right? They're just especially if it's like small, that's used $2.99, $3.99, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes I pick those pieces up and I can get $100 for it. So like the profit margin is a lot larger, but you have to find the right buyers. Like there's a lot more buyers for clothes than there are glass, but there's a lot less people selling glass than there are clothes. So it's really like, you know, it's not too different in a lot of ways, but it's also a lot easier to store clothes, a lot easier to ship clothes, you know. But I mean, I'm glad that I got into, you know, glass and antiques and all that stuff first because it's really like prepped me for everything else, you know, because like when you're selling something that's a collectible or a rare item, you know, you really have to inspect it. So now it's like with clothes, it's like I'm taking pictures of like how I would take pictures of an antique item. So it's you know, it's very different. But the glass market and like the antique market, collectible market, you know, it is a roller coaster. But right now, since I've started, I've only seen it grow. And I've only been selling glass, you know, and antiques for probably a little bit more than 2 years now.
There you go.
So like it hasn't like dipped again. And a lot of times also it's like what you have to remember is, you know, vintage is anything 20 years old or more, right? Antique has to be 100 years or older to be considered a proper antique.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the depression glass is going to start making its way into that proper antique category that automatically no matter what it is, as soon as something becomes a proper antique, it automatically like jumps in value, how much it's the valued at and like the demand for it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So actually, I see there was a question in the beginning. I know we've been getting a lot of comments there, though, but we appreciate it. Like, keep them coming. But Cajun asked, have you thought about doing Amazon?
I mean, obviously, like it came across my mind, right? But
Yeah.
for me, there's a couple things about this. Okay, the first thing being that I don't like to take on. I like to take on a lot, right?
Mhm.
But I don't like to. I like to nibble more than I can chew, but I don't like to bite more than I can chew. If that makes any sense,
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I'm
I get
saying?
what you're saying. Yeah.
So it's like I like to get like I got Etsy to the point where it's like clockwork, right?
Mhm.
Before I moved on to eBay. And like so now it's just like I don't really want to jump into Amazon right now because I'm still a baby like when it comes to eBay. Like even though like my eBay does really well right now for me, I mean, like I'm not one of those people like I don't like to like throw numbers out and like, be like, I sell this, I sell that, but my store information is out there. Obviously anybody can go and check and see,
Yeah.
but like I sell at a pretty good rate, for me, because the thing is like being on all these platforms, it's like maybe one day Etsy will be slow, right? But
Mhm.
eBay is killing. Maybe eBay is really slow, but Etsy's killing. And maybe both of those are really slow, but I just sold 2 items on Poshmark, 1 item on Macari, 1 item on Grailed. So it's like, to be able to balance all those things is super important. So that's the first thing about Amazon. The second thing about Amazon is like it's kind of like there's no fun in it for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Like like I enjoy I enjoy going out for the hunt. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like finding things. And like the thing is about like antiques and collectibles and glass, it's like a lot of this stuff, they don't make it anymore. So it's like when you find something and you're able to like, put that out on the market, like it's a lot easier to like fetch a higher dollar for it.
Mhm.
And like the thrill of the hunt and all that is just a lot more different than it is on Amazon.
For
The
sure.
third thing is like I don't know, Amazon seems kind of like I don't know enough about it, but like it seems like a lot of people say they're doing a lot of things on Amazon, but the numbers don't add up the right way for me. Like I'm about like small risk, big reward type of things, or big risk, big reward. Like I don't want to just like be buying a whole bunch of the same stuff, putting it in a box and sending it to Amazon. Not to say that I might not do that at some point in time, like, once I get comfortable to that level.
Yeah.
But for me personally right now, Amazon isn't like in the plans. But you never know. Like,
Maybe in the pipeline down the road.
yeah, I mean, anything's a possibility, but it's just I'm not hip to Amazon right now. And right now I'm just trying to build up. Like a lot of people I feel like make that mistake where like they see something on the internet and it's like I made $1 million selling on Amazon in 3 months, and it's like they see that video and they think that they can do that. Not to say that not everybody can do that, but I'm not like I'm not gullible and naive to think that I can make $1 million selling on Amazon in 3 months right now.
For sure.
Like I'm a realist. So, but I watch some people do it, and I'm intrigued, obviously, and like I have nothing but respect for people that do that because that's their hustle. You know what I'm saying? And like everybody has their different hustle, and like so more power to the people that can do it and are successful at it. But me, can't do it not right now.
And you're on 6 platforms already. So do you have some
Yeah,
stuff
I know.
cross-listed on all 6?
What's that?
Do you have some stuff cross-listed on all 6 platforms?
Oh yeah.
Man, that's wild.
Chris, another Canadian here, he was asking how many items listed, and then like where do you source your stuff?
Okay, so we'll run through this really quick. Remember, my Macari got shut down. Okay, so on Macari right now, I just got that back. So they took down over 150 of my listings on Macari. but I'm back up. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 33, 37, 39, 41. I have about 60 or 70 listed on Macari right now. And then eBay right now I have 301 listed on eBay, and Etsy I have 1,415 listed, and on Poshmark I have. But I think Poshmark includes what you sold also when it says your listings. I have 158 on Poshmark. Grailed is, it doesn't tell me on the top. Grailed is like 120, 100, closer to actually. So it should, Grailed matches Poshmark. So I have like 150 something on Grailed.
Okay.
And then Depop, I've like kind of a little bit behind. So Depop, I think I only have like 40 items listed on Depop.
Nice. Has anything ever sold twice, 2 different platforms for you when you're sleeping or something?
No, not yet.
Good, good.
Knocking on wood.
Always take the eBay one.
So, I'm really like, I'm good on that. Obviously, you know, like as soon as it, like, even, but the good thing is like on a lot of platforms you can deactivate and not necessarily delete. So like everybody knows that eBay is the king of everything because you can get the strikes for canceling an order, right?
Yeah.
So like if something sells on eBay first, they have the priority, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know? But like if anything sells on eBay, but like, you know, sometimes they don't pay right away, I'll just deactivate them on the platforms that allows you to deactivate it. And then if they don't pay and I have to like, you know, close it out, then I just reactivate it on those sites. The other good thing is List Perfectly. You know, I personally list inside of List Perfectly. So like if I'm at the computer and something happens, you know, you click sold and all the windows pop up and you just click, you know, gone.
Okay.
Done deal. So that's why I prefer to list inside List Perfectly. Also, it's just a little bit easier for me to do it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I haven't had that issue yet. But also certain platforms of the 6, like, you know, that things are listed on all 6, and then there's some that only are listed on 3 and some that are only listed on 4 and 5 and so forth.
Cool.
And they want to know why I got shut down on Macari is because I'm an idiot and I had my Instagram handles and YouTube channel in the description, because I'm just like naturally the way my business mentality and entrepreneur mind works. It's like I want this full circle, you know?
Yeah.
So like you could find me on YouTube, but you can get to all my stores from YouTube. If you find me on, you know, one of these stores, you should be able to go find me on YouTube. If you go to Instagram, you can find me on everything and so forth. Like I just find this, I'm fascinated with the linking of everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now, yeah, they know that. Yeah. So that's a no-no for those of you that didn't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why I got kicked off. And
Yeah,
I called to try and get everything back on, but it didn't work.
I'm putting links to my YouTube and my website, my Poshmark website, in my Poshmark listings. So hopefully that doesn't.
Well, I did too in the beginning, and like I went back and I edited all of my eBay listings, but Poshmark I didn't go back and edit them. But from moving forward, I just decided not to do it because I know my type of luck. I have nothing but bad luck. There's no good luck in my bones. So yeah, that's what that is. So Val wants to know what first got me interested in glass, and do I have a favorite type of item I enjoy sourcing or selling? So I got into glass because of my mom. Basically, my mom, my dad, they used to be collectors and dealers. And then my mom got fibromyalgia, so it doesn't move around as well anymore. So I started like helping her clean out her basement to make her life easier for her. And I was like, Ma, you got all this stuff. What are we going to do with it? And she didn't want to get rid of it at first. And then she came around, and then like I was like researching on how to get rid of it. And I found out that, you know, Etsy was like the place for me at that point in time. And then I started realizing that there was a market for it. And I was like, I'm good at this. I got the eye for it. So I started going out and buying stuff. And then through buying bad things and through buying good things, I started learning. And then I started reading. Like I have like maybe like over 100 books. So like I started reading, I started doing research, and then just like, you know, getting better and better and better, and taking risk and learning new things, and then just, you know, storing it all in here. My favorite thing to source is Vaseline and uranium glass, just because there's no other feeling than seeing something glow in the wild. So
yeah, the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, so like for me, that's like the funnest part. But as far as like to sell right now, uranium glass, as far as glass goes, uranium and Vaseline glass and Pyrex are my top 3 sellers, hands down. And then anything mid-century modern, Art Deco, those sell too. But like I also like other crazy things that I don't sell online that I sell at the flea market. So like I'm big into like old like Coke soda crates and stuff like that.
Okay,
I sell like 6 soda crates every Sunday, no problem. Like I have this giant old school Monroe brake pads oil barrel. Like if you've seen any of my videos, you'll see in my storage unit I have all types of old crates, and like, you know, very farmhouse decor is the big thing out here. So I sell a lot of like farmhouse decor too at the flea market.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I remember, yeah, when I saw your videos, you do have those, a lot of them actually. Let's see here.
I've been drinking a lot more water lately.
Yeah, me too.
That's good. Yeah.
Cliff, when's your next video coming out on the keto? Was that March 15th? You said somewhere around there? I've been super intrigued by those.
Right on.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, Jody posted the link for Tim there. If you haven't subscribed to Tim yet, guys, highly recommend it. He's the man. He has great videos, and also you get to see the great people in his life as well, like Josie and Ma Dukes. And yeah, it's such good content. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'm super fortunate to have, you know, such a great support team and like, you know, people in my corner. Even Josie's mom, who's sitting right here right now watching with me, she's always out and about. When she finds something, she sends me pictures, and then she wants me to sell it for her so she can make money too. Josie's at a play right now with her dad.
That's cool, man. So I wanted to ask too. So like when you go through your process of like packing, is it just generally Ma Dukes that takes care of it, or do you help out with the process?
No, so yeah, so the funny thing is, for the longest time, like when I first started doing reselling, I wasn't hip to the printing your own labels and doing all that stuff. So we would literally, I would do the writing. So I would literally hand write every single one of my labels. And I mean, so at some points it was just like, you know, I was writing like 20, 25 labels. So like she would pack, and as she was packing, I would write the labels and then put it on the boxes and stuff. And like sometimes some like the easy stuff, like single orders, she's good, right? But a lot of times when it gets to like the multiple pieces, she needs me to play box Tetris. So like trying to figure out how to place everything in the box to make it work, and then picking the box. Like when she's in her mode, like she's in our little shipping room, she's kicking stuff, throwing stuff, like she's and eventually I hear her yell my name, and I'm just like I'm on my way. So but I've been getting better at being able to do things by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think for her, it was like, so at first, when we first started, she was taking pictures, and because at that point in time, like research took up a majority of the time, because I was just grabbing things that I thought was appealing to the eye, but I personally didn't know anything about. So like at times it was take an hour, 2 hours to figure out one piece, So it's like I was doing all the research and she was taking pictures, and then she would send me the pictures, and then I would do all the listings. Excuse me. But eventually I was like, all right, we're going to switch the picture taking stuff because it wasn't working out for her. If you're listening, Ma, I love you. But so then she needed something to do like in the business, and like she liked to do the packing, and it was like at first it wasn't it was only a little bit, and then when things started like rolling, it was like it became like a real deal, like big process. I mean, I think we've sold, I don't even know, but I'm pretty sure it's close to like 2,000, things. So like it kind of went from like one item like a week, to like one item a day, and then some days nothing, to like now it's like 6 a day. So like it's definitely like gotten a lot bigger, and like now we kind of we feed off of each other, like we're like a team, but there's been times when like my mom's out of town, right? I'll tell you real quick. So Josie and I went on vacation to St. Lucia, right? And when we were in St. Lucia, I just ran a sale on my Etsy store and was like, sorry, I'm going to be gone for a week, but to get you guys, compensated for waiting a week for shipping, I'm going to give you 25% off of everything. So I came back from St. Lucia and I had 75 orders, and my mom was out of town. So Josie and I had to do all the packing, and like we did it in like 48 hours. It was insane. I mean, like Pyrex bowls, like people bought like 4, 5, 6 Pyrex bowls in one order. And like this was when I still was learning how to ship. Like that was like the turning point. And so I'm writing labels, like, and then I'm getting to the post office, and like I brought 42 items the first day, right, to the post office, and they're looking at me like, they all know me by name because like I'm super nice to everybody. I'm really cool with them. So like I bring 42 packages to the post, and I remember dropping that first big box of Pyrex, and she was like, "It's gonna be $53." I was like, "What?" Like, no, it was going to Louisiana, somewhere down in the Cutno, Louisiana, like in the swamp, Louisiana. And like, so now it's like I've learned, like that's the thing, man. It's like you gotta learn. And like I'm one of these people that like I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna keep building, learning from my mistakes and getting better.
Absolutely.
And then, so like that was crazy time for me. Crazy time. So yeah, now like I can pack just like how my mom does. You know what I'm saying? Like we do literally everything identical. And then sometimes we like help each other out and stuff like that. But like these last few days I've been doing all the packing, and it's like it really definitely I see the difference, because like, if I have to do all the packing by myself, like I can't list during that time. So like her helping me pack allows me to get other things done, for the business.
Speaking of the packing, I saw Lance Fines had a question actually about that too. I think he mentioned like if he had any issues with shipping fragile items, complaints.
So in of the almost 2,000 things I've shipped, I had, so like in the very beginning, like not the very beginning, but like before I like started really going hardcore, I had used to use this one post office that was closer to my mom's house, and I had shipped like maybe like 6 things that one day, and of those 6 things, 3 people complained that they arrived broken. And so I the post office already gave me like sketchy vibes, like, Ace Ventura type of handling of the boxes. So I was like, I'm not messing with this post office anymore. And then I needed to get my passport, and this post office that I go to now does passports. So I went there to get my passport, and I was like, these women are so nice. Like I just had fun there. So I started bringing my packages there. Since then, so that was probably about 1.5 years ago, give or take, maybe almost 2 years. Since then, I've only had 1 item arrive broken. And that item got sent to California, got sent back to me, and then back to California, and it was broke by then. But even then, the woman didn't complain. She saw how it was wrapped, so she knew that something's had happened along that way. Yeah. So besides that, knock on wood, I had nothing else broke.
That only helps if it's real wood, eh?
Yeah, this is real wood, right? That's right.
Yeah, no, I don't know if you guys you've seen it too, but Tim does have a video where they show them actually packing, like their whole packing process, and it's pretty crazy. Like they really do like their best to take care of each individual package when they ship it out.
Yeah, and I saw a recent other packing video, and my mom was watching it. She was like, "What is she doing?" No, and I was just like, "Yeah, I mean, everybody does it different. And it's not this. Some people might look at the way that we pack and think that we're overpacking.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, like with these items, it's super important to be that thorough, because a lot of times, like, and another part that doesn't get talked about a lot for me is a lot of times people find things on our shop that have sentimental value to them. Like I had this when I was a kid at my grandmother's house. Like recently I sold this glass humidor jar to a young man whose grandfather had the exact same one, but it broke in an earthquake. And like he found that one on my site, and like it made his day. So like I get stories like that all the time from people. And like for me, that's like that makes what I do even more enjoyable, because like I'm like to be able to like give somebody something like that, like is like you can't describe the feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't put a number or a price on that. Like it's different than like selling like something that has no like sentimental value. So like that to me makes me want to like take care of it even more. And the other thing is like I always try to approach things how I would want somebody to approach it if I was on the other end of it. So like I wouldn't want somebody I wouldn't want to spend $100 on a plate and then just put that plate, have somebody put it in a plate and send it to me. I want that thing double, triple, quadruple wrapped. What are y'all doing with those Post-its?
Post-it note, yeah. In the comments.
I use Post-its too.
Yeah.
Oh, Susie mentioned so Dukes and Rob need to get together for a shipping show.
Yeah, see, I have all these notes that have all of my measurements and everything on them.
There you go. Oh, Jody dropped the Tim's FC shop as well as his Instagram, so make sure you guys follow him. And if you guys want to purchase something off of Tim's store, by all means.
when I run out of those, I got that.
What is that?
What is that?
That's pretty well a
What, paper?
notepad that I made.
Oh, with like giant clips at the top.
Yeah, that's well. I usually do make my own notepads with tack glue, but I'm
Yeah.
out of tack glue and they don't sell it anymore they don't sell it anymore locally. So
Mm.
I was thinking
Average
of trying
sale
silicone because it's the same stuff when it's dried.
My palm is itching. Maybe I got a sale coming.
Nice.
Which one? Which side?
What's that?
What side?
My right hand.
That's
But I
what they
think there's
say.
been a piece of glass stuck in this hand for like 5 years. So like every once in a while it itches, and then I remember that that's there. So I don't think it's the same as like money's coming. So
Sorry.
average
Yeah,
sale
no.
price on glass and Pyrex. This is nearly impossible to like say. It's so opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, like I guess for Pyrex, technically Pyrex is glass, just so everybody understands. But Pyrex is a little bit easier to give you an average because, like, you know, unless you have a super rare piece, you know, even the high end non-rare pieces, you know, fetch anywhere between $25 and $40. Excuse me, on the low end, $10 to $20.
Right.
So looking, that's for Pyrex. The good thing about Pyrex though is that a majority of the Pyrex sells really fast. I mean, it's just a very hot market right now. And the other interesting thing is you know, Mel asked that question, and in Australia has their own line of Pyrex too. So there's a Pyrex Australia, there's a Pyrex England, Pyrex America, and Pyrex Canada too, I believe. So like there's certain pieces of Pyrex that are made in those countries that those patterns aren't made for American Pyrex.
That's
So
cool.
like sometimes those are actually fetch more money, and sometimes they don't because the patterns just aren't as high as desirable. But super interesting stuff nonetheless. Now, as far as the rest of the glass goes, I mean, I sell a piece for $10 and I've sold a piece for $500. You know, if I had to give like an honest average, I'd say $35 to $40 average price.
Wow.
You know, so the other thing is that a lot of those things, you know, I find for pennies on the dollar, you know, and that's the other thing that's like with glass, it's like there's so much of it out there, and so many people don't want anything to do with it that like it becomes a little bit like, you know, there's a lot for me to feast on out there. But as of late, it had been dry. It had been really dry until I went to that auction. And that auction,
Killed it.
dude, there's some people there that were not happy with me though.
I'm sure.
They're like, who's this new guy?
Yes. Well, they know me because they see me like in the at the flea market selling.
Yeah.
But that's how it was too when I came to the flea market. Because this is the other thing too is, so it's a blessing and a cursing being who I am, the way that I am.
Mhm.
Like some people want to try and tell me like I don't know things, right? So like I'll go to an estate sale and they'll be like, oh, well, you know, this is this and that, and it's called this and that. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, I know that, you know. So like you're just assuming that I don't know what I'm doing, right? And
Yeah.
at the same time, like I use that to my advantage, you know, because like I'm going after things that they don't know about because they're overlooking it because they think they know everything, you know?
Yeah.
So, but what I do is because I'm also in other areas and fields of business, I focus so much on marketing and branding, right? So like for me, I look at myself as a person, this body and everything is a brand. So when I walk out the door, I represent myself like I'm a brand. No matter where I'm going, what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Like I always carry myself with a certain level without like changing who I am. As you guys can tell, I'm always gonna be me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I just do things a little bit different. So like when I came to the flea market, right? The first time I set up, I pulled out the tent. I got the big over the years banner on the tent, the orange top. You know, I got all the tables and all my glasses color coordinated all the way around. And then like black tablecloths. I got business cards. I got the square, you know, like I got the whole setup.
Nice.
And everybody else is just like throwing stuff on tables.
Yeah.
And I am cleaning up. And everybody else that's set up at the flea market is looking at me like, who the hell is this guy? Where did he come from? And why is everybody buying stuff from him and not from me? So like I do really well at the flea market because I take the extra step. You know, like I probably bring a lot more than what's necessary, but the appeal of seeing everything that I have entices people to buy.
Mm-hmm.
So like they might not buy the piece that I brought, but that piece that I brought might have drawn them in to my booth to buy something that day. And plus, you know, like I'm not like a lot of people can kind of be like really either snobby, like snooty, or people can be like, you know, they're just. But for me, like I'm interactive, so like I'm bouncing all over the place. I'm talking to people. I'm flashing stuff with the black light. So like it's like a party at when I'm at the flea market, you know. So like it's just being able to continue to update, continue to be innovative, and try new things and take risk and you know, because I try things that fail, you know, and I'm just like, all right, you know, like how now it's back to the drawing board, back to the lab, you know, trying to plot and cook something else up. And like I learned things from other people too. And it's just like, you know, like some people get super stubborn, and like I'm not. Like I'm always open ears. I might not necessarily do everything that but I still listen. I take the time to try these things that other people are teaching, especially on YouTube, you know?
Yeah.
You definitely have to fail. If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
Can't taste the sweet without tasting the sour.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Do you think you're ever going to find lucky in love? Ever?
I mean, I tell you, I have dreams about it. I do. Like sometimes I wake up and I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the thrift store right now.
Yeah.
But you know, and like I can like I visually see myself like picking it off of the top shelf, and just like this, like everything else turns black and it's like light just shines on it. And it's just like the angel horns in the background.
But it's probably way too well known, hey?
So yeah, I mean, they're out there, you know, like
Yeah.
You see these stories of people that find the craziest things at thrift stores. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised. Man, I got snaked today at the thrift store, though. Like, people are savages.
Mm-hmm. It could be.
This woman got me for a pink Pyrex bowl today. I was heated. It was the only thing in her cart, too. And she was just pushing her cart like, with a pink Pyrex bowl. I was not happy. Yeah. But I did get a nice piece, though, too. So I was like, you know what? Can't win them all. Can't win them all.
This is true.
Hey guys, what's up? There's a lot of people coming in now. Thank you guys so much for being here. Over 50 people. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, guys.
Over 50 people? Wow.
Yeah. That's
I
awesome.
should go do that. I did do that.
Thanks a
Thanks
lot.
to this guy.
Awesome.
Tanya Harding.
At the thrift store with you. Wow. As if you haven't subscribed yet to Tim, please do so. I left his link in the description, but someone can put it in the chat as well. That'd be super helpful. He's the man, and he just gives lots and lots of love to all of you guys too. So
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing too, man. It's like, it's funny. So I remember. I don't know if Jody remembers this or not, but the first time I saw Jody was in the chat of the Joshes in the reselling in the morning. That was the first time I saw Jody. Was in that chat, right?
yeah,
And I was talking about, how I bootlegged some software, and he was like, "Don't do that. You should never do that." And I was like, "You know what? He's right." And so like I just kind of like always like followed Jody a little bit, and then like we started bumping into each other more and more and more. And it's just like now that I go back and I look at that, I'm like, man, it's crazy how like the YouTube circles work, And it's like I'm so fortunate that I've found so many like dope people, because there's a lot of people out there that are like, especially I feel like there's a few big channels that you'll learn from, obviously the ones that everybody knows, right? Like Lonnie and Cincinnati Picker, Craigslist Hunter, like those guys are good guys. You know what I'm saying? Like Part-Time Pickers, great guy. Like his last video when he showed them giving all those presents from the wish list that he did that for the kid who had the medical thing, I cried. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, he's not like promoting himself like he's making $1 million on Amazon and he's driving Ferraris and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
exactly.
and then all the smaller channels, you find these people that you like, you can relate to and you feel comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? Like but at the same time, it's like there's all these little things that we learn from each other. You know what I'm saying? Like I watch Jody's Poshmark videos all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, like that's learning stuff, and it's like it's a different perspective on things. Like the other day I was about ready to buy some cards, but I couldn't find any because I wanted to just try and see if I could find some cards. And then like with Cliff, he has so many like different things that going on that are interesting. The 3D printer, the keto thing, and it's just like he got all these things going on too. It's like everybody has these special pieces to them that like make us all kind of attract to each other and like learn from each other and feast off of each other, and like we build each other up to the next level, and that's important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear there.
For sure. I mean, we're all in our way making our own identity, and it's good to have our own identity to see how like people can really relate to us, and as different as we are somehow all in like relatable.
Exactly. And the thing is like I feel like there's a lot of the people that we all are watching, and everybody is they're real. I feel like who all the people are, like we're all like ourselves. And it's like I could have 1 million subscribers, I could have 400 subscribers, I'm still going to be this crazy same old Tim. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to be trying to sell nobody no pipe dreams and stuff like that. Like I want to be able to continue to like learn, and I want to be able to continue to help. Like if I people message me now all the time on Instagram, and like I don't always have the answer, but like I'm like oh, this is a challenge. Now can you really give back to the community? And I'm like, game on. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm helping out people every day now. And for me, there's nothing more exciting than being able to help other people,
Mm-hmm.
because you could have all the knowledge in the world. I say this all the time, but like if knowledge is worthless unless it's being shared.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like that's something I firmly believe in.
and you have been seriously helpful to many people.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, like I like whenever I go thrifting, I message you every now and then to see if these things are good or not, because like they look cool, but like in reality, it's probably something that's not. It wasn't that valuable at all.
Man, I tell you, I've had, like I forget what chat we were in the other night, but I've had some dogs. Everybody's had some dogs.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes I go and I look at my Etsy, but sometimes they sell. Like whenever my phone goes cha-ching from the Etsy store, right?
Yeah.
I go and I'm like, oh man, what's sold now? Because sometimes it's not like necessarily a good feeling. It's
Yeah.
like a feeling like, man, am I gonna be able to find this? Because you know, I've had some things listed in my store for like 2 years.
Right.
You know, and it's just like I've been slowly pushing things over into my clearance section. But like sometimes people like there's things that sell that I'm like, I don't even remember where that came from. I don't even remember when I posted it. Like, but it's just like it's one of those things that like sometimes and a lot of times too is it goes back to the Instagram thing. Like Instagram is super important. No matter how much people hate it, you know, it is very important. Like I remember the first time I talked about Instagram in one of the lives, and Lisa will tell you from Couple of Pickers, like you just do the minimum to start, and like really you can see the benefits. So I try to post right now. I've gotten to, you know, because things that are a little bit more busy, I don't do as much as I'd like to, but I try to post at least 3 items from my Etsy store to my over the years collecting on Instagram. And I like to post 3 items that I post on other platforms on my over the years eBay Instagram account. And then, you know, just utilizing the hashtags, because in reality, hashtags are search engines. You know, Instagram is the new search engine. Like people go to like if you're out and about, right, and you want to know what time something closes, 50% of the people are going to go to Google. 50% of the people are going to go to that restaurant's Instagram page because they expect that information to be there. You know, so it's just like I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys watched Gary Vee. I've been watching Gary Vee for a very, 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 very long time. And like I've been using Instagram ads and Facebook ads, you know, for cheap. And like that stuff really pays off, you know, and it's just like it might not necessarily directly give you the sale, but what it does is it brings people to your store, you know, and maybe they come back and they buy something. Maybe you post something on Instagram, now they're following you. Maybe you post something on Instagram 3 weeks, maybe 3 months later, and that's the thing that they want. But because of that initial post or that initial ad, you've drawn them in, and it's super important, you know. And like I try to explain things, right, and I don't want anybody to ever think that I'm like some sort of guru or anything like that.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
you're knowing what's working for you, right? And
but like I'm just I try to learn, you know, and like I know these little things that have worked for me, and like it has, you know, helped me out a lot. And it's just like, now what can I do next? That's what I'm all in my head, in my brain.
Mhm.
I'm already thinking. I'm also crazy, but I'm already like thinking of what the next 2 moves are while I'm doing my current move.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, you know, like that's just the only way that I know. And you know, I've been in the music business for a long time too, you know, and like I was throwing parties when I was like 16, 17 years old in like big venues, like negotiating bar deals, you know, and I was like 16, 17 years old. So it's like you can, not everything that you learn also comes just from reselling. You know, like you can also learn things from other businesses and other creative minds on, especially on YouTube, that you can apply to your reselling business. You know, and
Absolutely.
that's the other thing too, is like, even when I was part-time, I considered what I was doing a business. And so like I'm always like trying to approach things like I'm running a business. And now in the essence, I'm running a business. But yeah.
That's a great point, though, man. Like, honestly, whenever I put like a crazy amount of hashtags to like all my videos or my pictures, like in my posts, I notice I'm getting a lot more traffic from that too. Like, it definitely helps.
Yeah, it does. And that's the other thing too, is like then you just learn a little bit more about how you're utilizing your hashtags. So there was a point in time when I noticed a drop in my engagement on Instagram, and I was like, I don't know what it is, right? You know, but then I realized I think my hashtags were oversaturated. So what I did is I learned to break my hashtags in half. So, you know, you want to use maybe 6 to 8 hashtags in the initial post. And then as soon as you post it, do another 8 hashtags in the first comment. Like you comment on that post with 8 hashtags. So now but the trick is you have to do it within 1 minute, because if you don't do it within 1 minute, your post is going to get lost into the sea of other hashtags.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's like little things like that, you know, like I learned that at a social media conference that I went to when I was doing social media for the restaurant industry. So like, you know, just go, that kind of like comes back full circle to, you know, learning the things from other industries and being able to apply those to reselling, you know. And I'm just, the other thing is too, is I'm kind of like, I'm really excited for yard sale season, because before I was going to yard sales, like, and I wasn't selling other stuff. I was just selling antiques and stuff. So like sometimes I would go to 16 yard sales and I'd be up 5 o'clock in the morning and I wouldn't find anything. And like now that I'm like in my mind, I'm like, man, I probably passed up so much gold, not even knowing it, you know?
Yeah.
Going back to Instagram hashtags, Daper Tiger says you can do 30 hashtags. Do you feel it's not necessary to go with the max?
I don't even know. I don't think you could even do 30.
Did they drop it? Maybe.
I think so, because sometimes I know that it has told me like trying to post too many hashtags. It'll be like a red setting. It'll say too many hashtags.
Right.
Now, personally, I would never do all 30 in the initial post, because they won't. I don't feel like they give you the proper amount of love. So I think, me personally, I would stick to my 8 to 10, 6 to 10 in the initial post, and then put the rest of the hashtags in the first comment of that post within 1 minute.
Yeah. Right.
Because I think that if you oversaturate the initial post with 30, if it is, they are saying it's 30. I can't say
it was 30. Yeah.
So if you saturate your initial post with all 30 hashtags, it gets lost in the fumble. And I don't necessarily believe in algorithms to a certain extent. Like,
Not
to me, if you let your mind get lost in the algorithm too much of anything, by the time you figure out that algorithm, they've already introduced a new algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just, what they call that? They call that the rat race, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like the whole time we all sitting here trying to figure out the algorithm, they got a whole room of other people at NASA creating another algorithm. They got algorithm for the algorithm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just, but it's fun sometimes, you know. Like I've always been an organic sort of guy. Not fun sometimes, Cliff.
Got something to say, Cliff?
Yeah, Tommy makes a good point too.
I was answering a question in the chat, but thanks. I just broke my record now. I don't think I said a word in the last 45 minutes.
All right. So before I forget, though, they also made an interesting point. So the hashtags that you use, you want to mix up a combination of large, like, so for example, like eBay is like probably like 100,000, you know, people using that hashtag. But like if you mix up like eBay clothes or clothes on eBay, you know, like that's going to give you a lower number of people using that hashtag. So you want to mix up the like range of the people using the hashtags. So anywhere, you know, as low as like maybe only a lot of the hashtags I use for the glass pieces are like under 1,000 people using that hashtag. But it's useful for somebody who's specifically looking for that piece and selling like antiques and glass. You know, you have collectors are specifically looking for those items. They're not looking at vintage glass hashtag, you know? So it's like you kind of want to mix all that stuff up.
So for,
like
for example, they're looking for like hashtag like Vaseline.
Vaseline glass, uranium glass are super popular hashtags right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
that's one of those things that's from the age group of like 25 going up is, look at that. See, Tommy said 4 million posts on Instagram per day with eBay.
that's a lot.
Do you know how difficult it is for somebody like us to get bumped up to the top of that algorithm of hashtag eBay? You know?
Very slim.
Exactly. So like, just I don't know. It's all a game, and it's all about testing and trying, and you know.
Do you have like a document on your computer with a bunch of hashtags all ready to go?
Yeah, I have my notepad on my phone is just.
Yeah, your
so
phone.
I also use a lot of. I also have a. There you go. Tommy said it. 0% chance of ranking. So it's like I have. I also do a lot of other Instagram accounts. So like I have a note on my notepad for each Instagram account that I work. So yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's just like YouTube, 500 hours of video uploaded every single minute.
That was crazy when I saw that when you were reading.
That's wild. That's
crazy.
Craziness.
That was from the letter you wrote, right? Or the letter you read?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Insane.
Kent. Every time I put Vaseline.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Vaseline glass per day, 11.1 thousand people use Vaseline glass per day. I bet you uranium glass is probably double that.
Uranium
Since
glass?
you're pulling numbers, Tommy, find out what uranium glass is.
That's actually a hell of a lot.
Yeah,
That's a niche topic.
That's what I've been trying to tell people, that like, get your black lights, because this stuff is starting to really take off. It's because it's like people are like so like, man, it glows in the dark, and like, you know, like, but people have been big time collectors of that stuff for a long time.
Right.
I'm waiting for the over the ears blacklight.
There you go. There's an idea.
There you go, buddy. I just gave you $1 million idea right there.
Yo, that's gonna be so lit, pun intended. That's brilliant. Uranium glass is double the Vaseline glass, 22.1 thousand per day.
That's just insane. Really is.
You would never think that, right?
No, not that much. Jeez. Per day.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Man.
So like if you go to like a regular thrift store like right now, and like what's the general like most common type of glass you generally see?
Well, the sheer volume is going to be clear glass. Just because volume, it's there.
Everywhere.
The colored glass, that's why like it's easy. It's not necessarily easy, but that's why with the colored glass, it stands out more. So it's like, it's when you're thrifting and you see, and you messaged me a couple of times, like, and the thing is like, it's very difficult because there's so much of the glass, but like the colored glass just kind of sticks out, you know what I'm saying? And so like I don't see as much, but this is the other thing too. What you have to remember is when people do, before I continue, we all need to wish Tracy a happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Tracy.
Happy birthday.
And we'll sing for you before we finish.
Oh wow.
The dogs just sang my part.
There you go. Dog sang it for us.
Josie's here.
Hi guys, did you hear me in the
Hey,
background?
Hey Josie.
Hi.
Hey.
how's it going?
Good. How's everyone?
How was the play?
It's
Doing
good.
good.
Oh.
Bubba, come here.
Can I get one too?
We've got to exchange dogs, man. Wow. What's his name's dog?
So yeah, but the glass like is it when you're there at the thrift store, there's just so much to really like take in. So you just kind of like gotta hope. What I notice a lot is people will donate their collections.
Oh, yeah.
So like or an estate sale, they'll put it all there. So if you see one piece, maybe wait around or go back because there's probably going to be more of it. And that's what happened today with the Pyrex. Like it just started. I saw two pieces and I was like, all right. And then they came out with the cart and I got two more off of the cart. And then the woman sniped me for the pink bowl. I'm still a little
Oh
salty.
man.
But yeah, like, and
bowl.
that's what happens is a lot of times, like you have to kind of take note when you're at all the different stores. Like, okay, like if you see one thing, there might be more, or, like maybe come back the next day because it takes time for them to process that stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glass City Picker wants to know if you're going to share your hashtags.
Who?
Instagram hashtags, I'm assuming.
My hashtags? Yeah, go to my Instagram. They're all there.
That's true. That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
It's all public. Yeah.
I mean, I use a lot, like, so I'm gonna probably switch up start swapping them out a little bit, because I think what happens is after a while,
Mhm.
it starts to get like flat. So I kind of just like take some out and add some new ones in and kind of like flip it around and stuff like that.
Yeah. When you change the hashtag, though, does it bring it back right up to the top, or is it just?
No.
Very
But I mean,
away.
like from the ones that I copy and paste into my post, I'll just change that. So like that's the other thing too, is like sharing from Etsy to Instagram is completely different than like there's no option for you to share your stuff on Instagram or any of the other platforms. With Etsy, there's a direct, like, you go down, you click share, and it'll give you all the options that you can share your post to. So it's like, so when you list something on Etsy, you put in your keywords on Etsy. So those keywords automatically turn into hashtags once you share it.
Okay.
So I usually use like the first 5 to 6 hashtags from my Etsy listing, and then I'll post that. And then the first comment, I'll use my copy and paste hashtags from my notebook.
Nice.
Do you find that there's like the different thrift stores you go to? Do you find that each one has their own sets of type of glass that they sell?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So Salvation Army,
Yeah.
I don't know what anybody else thinks, but every Salvation Army I've ever been to, no matter what state, no matter what county, and no matter what city, all looks the same. And like, it's a lot of it is new, like glass, like stuff you get at like house. What do they call that place? House goods, home goods. I don't know if they have those in Canada.
I don't think so. We have Home Sense.
Yeah, it's like home goods. It's just like new glass, like just cheesy stuff.
Okay.
And they like color coordinate their glass. So every once in a while you'll find a nice piece like tucked away behind something, which is, super helpful. But like Salvation Army rarely has Pyrex. But Josie has found some Pyrex at the Salvation Army before, which is like super hard to happen. But and then Goodwills, I mean, the Goodwills around here are horrible. They're horrible. I find maybe something at Goodwill once every 5 times. But Value Village and Unique, those are like the clutch ones. And then there's a couple of small shops that I go to try and find higher end stuff. It's a little bit more pricier, but also like estate sales are big around here. So I find a lot of my glass at estate sales. And now that I got this, went to that auction, I broke the ice there. I don't know, things might get a little crazy now. But yeah, it's just, it's really interesting. There's just so much glass that's out there, and there's probably pieces that are just like untouched. Like you just gotta kind of wait for it, and like as soon as it's happens, just pounce on it. Like there's glass stuff out there that's worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah. And like I used to every night before I went to sleep, I was watching Antique Roadshow, just to kind of like just to put names in my memory bank.
Yeah, smart. Absolutely.
So like, then it's just like when I hear something, I know, bam, that's it right there.
Yeah, Kent mentioned Yard Sale Treasure Map helps. Have you tried using that app?
Well, I mean, that's basically for people who are lazy and don't want to map out their own Craigslist ads. It's like, nah, I mean, because it's funny. It's like I just go on Craigslist and I pick all the, I see all the listings, and then I just kind of make my own map. But apparently there's an app for that called Yard Sale Treasure Map. So no, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm looking forward to trying that and saving me a lot of time and hassle of mapping out my own yard sale map.
Natalie mentioned our Goodwills are putting in so much new items. They're like $half store now. Nice.
Exactly. And a lot of that is because Goodwill has been putting. I think I saw somebody say something about Goodwill is hiring e-commerce listers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the good stuff at Goodwill is getting sent to the Shop Goodwill auction site, which used to be untapped. I used to clean up there, but now it's it's gotten oversaturated with collectors and dealers. Are people making fun of me because of my yard sale treasure mapping comments?
Yeah, yeah. That app isn't. I've tried using it here. There's always only like maybe like one or two, but then they're so far away from each other. But,
I found 2 yard sales on Yard Sale Treasure Map in Alberta. Both of them were in Calgary. That's like a 7-hour drive for me.
wow.
No, thank you. I mean, like Tim. I'm an hour and a half away from Jody here. Like I can drive to his place and back to my place 3 times in that amount of time.
See, for me, like I kind of get a vibe for what's the most, which one yard sale is going to give me the best results first, right? Because around here, 5, 6 o'clock, you got to be out ready to rock. Like there's people out here are yard sale savages, and not even just like resellers or collectors, just your everyday Joe. Like it is no joke. So like I try and find the best one and I start there, and then from there I just kind of go, because like where I live, you know what I'm saying, I got 3 states basically. So like I live in DC. There's yard sales in DC, but not like in Maryland and Virginia. So like, but Virginia there's parts of Virginia that are 15 minutes away. There's parts of Virginia that's 4 hours away. There's parts of Maryland that are 15 minutes away, and there's parts of Maryland that are 4 hours away. So it's like you kind of got to pick and choose your battles. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like a lot of places I see people go to yard sales on Fridays. Ain't nobody having yard sales on Fridays in this area. I've never been to a yard sale on a Friday in my life.
Yeah, neither have I.
But like I see people who go to yard sales on Fridays. I'm like, I don't know where y'all live, but they don't got those around here. Yes, DC is cutthroat. Is Saskatchewan the Mennonite thrift stores are the best? What's that?
Interesting. Never heard of that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
What's the gist in Saskatchewan?
So the Mennonites, they have their own thrift stores over there. That's pretty cool.
I've been through Saskatoon quite a few times, but I was pulling a Super Bee, so I couldn't really stop at any thrift stores.
Yeah, there's a farmers market that's like 2 hours away from me, and it's like heavily run by Mennonites.
Those are Amish people, right?
I think they have that look, but they do certain things.
Does Hutterite mean anything to you, Tim?
No. I feel like I'm in geometry.
Because I was going to say they're just like Hutterites. But yeah, I'd say Amish who have accepted modern technology.
Oh.
But in the Mennonite culture, they don't do anything to make the individual stand out. So if you buy a car that just happens to have some chrome on it, they'll paint that chrome black so it doesn't stand out.
Interesting.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
And not shiny glossy black either. It'll be flat black.
Like a matte black.
Yeah.
But sometimes matte black sticks out more than a shiny black. Because everybody used to a shiny black. Not everybody used to a matte black.
It's true. Justin said Massachusetts yard sales start on Thursday to Sunday. With the states.
Yeah, there's a state sales in this area that will start as early as Wednesday to Sunday, but not yard sales. I mean, maybe like in like the areas that are far from me that I don't necessarily know about.
Mm-hmm.
But it's typically in Sundays. It's basically Saturday. Sundays, you know, you'll get a couple of those. But most people who have Sunday yard sales had a Saturday yard sale. So the Sunday part of their Sunday sale is going to be, you know, it's going to be picked through.
I think they mostly happen Friday, Saturday, Sunday here in the city.
The ones that start Thursday evenings, I find are pretty good.
Thursday
Get
night
their
yard
Thurs-
sales?
Get their Thursday evening. Yeah, like they'll start on Thursday at like 5 p.m. and then it'll be like Friday 5 to 9 p.m.
That's interesting.
Church sales typically in my area, like I've got a few church sales. They'll start on a Thursday evening, but only one of the sections will be open, and it'll be like fill a shopping bag for $5.
I love a good fill a
nice.
bag.
And then you go Friday, and then the other section, like a lot of them will start on with clothes on Thursday. Then you'd fill a shopping bag for $5 on close day, and then on Friday, the hard goods will open up, and then on Saturday it's all half price because they have to clear it all out for service on Sunday.
Yeah, see, church sales generally are just on Saturdays here. That's it. I've been to a couple of those, and I mean it's mayhem. Like you have to, like there's like a line that's like an hour-long line just to get inside.
Dang.
How crazy it is! Wow.
Yeah, it gets. There's some things here that are like really like it's insane. It's super competitive, and it's just like it's a battle. Like, you know, you'll go to one sale, right, and you'll see somebody there, and then you'll pull up to the next spot, and as soon as you get out the car, you see the same person you saw at the last spot. But like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
about
third.
I'm like, what were they looking at the last sale? Because that's what I'm gonna look at first, because I want to get to it before they do, and then I'll move on to the next part of in that sale. Because, you know, like that's all it is. You gotta be Jedi mind tricks out here.
It's true.
I've done that before. Like first sale, second sale, third sale, you're seeing the same guy. Fourth sale, you both pull up at the same time, and you both stand there and look at each other for a second.
But hey, I know you.
Oh yeah, you know why? Because they all using the yard sale treasure map. But the other thing is too, though, is that it's also difficult for me to do a lot of sourcing on Saturdays when I have, because during that same time of the year, I'm also setting up at a lot of different events. So it's like there's some times where I do Saturday, Sunday. Like I do an event on Saturday, and then I get up and do another event on Sunday at a different location.
Right.
And that's like, it is a lot of work. I got a couple. I think there's a video that I put out of Josie and I that shows, it's one of our older videos, but it goes through the process of everything we go through for setting up at the flea market, from like packing everything at the storage unit into boxes, and then getting the U-Haul van and loading everything up in the U-Haul van, and then getting up at 5 a.m, unpacking all that stuff. And I mean, like, we bring like 200-300 pieces, you know, just of glass and china. So imagine unwrapping every individual piece after setting up all the tables, after setting up the tent, you know, then putting all those pieces out. and then you're there from like 5 in the morning till like 5 o'clock in the evening, and then you got to wrap all that stuff back up, break down all the tables, break down the tent, put it all back into the U-Haul, then go back to the storage unit, unload everything and put it back into the storage unit, then bring the U-Haul back to the U-Haul place. Like, I mean, that is work.
Oh, yeah.
That's real work right there. But a lot of times, I mean, for $800, I'm not mad at that, and it's a good networking for me because I utilize the branding of everything, so like that. I've had a lot of people, and then also it helps me know what to Ken said all those get rich guys didn't say all that. That's for sure. But like the other thing is you learn about things to look for. Like I get a lot of people that come to my booth and they're like, "Oh, do you have this?" And I'm like, "Nah, I don't have any of that." I mean, I don't say it necessarily like that, but in my head, I'm thinking, "No, I don't have any of that. Maybe I need to get some of that." And then somebody else comes and asks for it too, and I'm like, "You know what? I don't really have a lot of military stuff." So then I go out and I find a trunk, I find a canteen, I find a helmet, I find an ammo box. And then I set it all up next to each other right in the front. So then next Sunday when they come, they're like, "Oh, man, damn, all gone." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like taking mental notes and stuff like that. That's why I think that it's also, it's important when you watch those what sold videos on YouTube. Because it's sort of this need. The way I look at it is I'm not necessarily looking at I'm going to go get that exact same item and sell it for make this much money. I'm thinking more in my head along the lines of, okay, this sort of section of things are selling right now. So like then I go and I study those sort of things and I look for the opportunities where I can get those sort of things. What the hell says military is hot in the States? It is. I mean, people love that stuff. And I mean, like, it's like, for me also, it's like, the way I set up everything too is like very detailed. So like I have like all my medical glass bottles, like all like displayed in layers and levels and stuff like that, because that stuff's super popular. I know I say it all the time in the videos and the lives. If you ever find a poison bottles, those things are super, super sought after, very collectible and valuable. And then, vintage advertising is a huge part of what I do. I sell a lot of vintage advertising. And then, tins too. Like old tins have like, I mean, I sold a crown tin. I have to, every time I say that, I have to remind people that I say crowns. How do you say them? Like what you draw with?
Crayon.
Crown. Okay. Well, I say crown though.
I thought you meant a Crown Royal tin.
No, exactly. That's why I had to stop.
Oh, okay.
Crayon.
I was like, I sell those too.
It's a crown, like Crayola crown tin.
Yeah.
And I sold it for $50. And
Wow.
I got it at a yard sale for 50 cents.
There you go.
And then like typewriter ribbon tins, tobacco tins, like Harry Humstone, he knows like there's some tins out there that are like, I have a whole book on tins, just tins, like tools too, like vintage and antique tools do really well also, especially at the flea market. But like there's so much things out there. Like that's what I try to stress is like, I could have stuck in just doing, the antiques and stuff, but I wanted to expand my horizons and my portfolio. So that's why I'm selling clothes. But you use the same mentality that you use in one, genre. You can easily apply that same mentality to another genre. It's just about, putting in a little bit of work here and there, the dedication. That's what it comes down to. Because like and then listening to other people. Like if it wasn't for Cernock and Tommy, I would have never known about Grailed, and like I would have never sold that Jordan jersey like I sold for $130 on Grailed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like there's all these little things out there that you can learn and that you can apply. And for me, that's what gets me up in the morning. I'm like, all right, what I'm gonna tackle today? You got to do all the dumb stuff that you don't want to do, the listing, the packing, the shipping. You do all that, but when you do all that, then you got an opportunity to go out and have some fun, learn something new, find some treasure. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
it ain't always going to be easy. There's going to be days where you don't find nothing, where you don't sell nothing. But you know what? Your heart's still beating. You ain't in jail. You got food on the plate. It might be a couple of peas and a piece of bread, but it's better than nothing. So it's like, the motivation's always there for me.
That's awesome, man.
Well said.
I couldn't have said it any better. Seriously. Exactly. Eye of the tiger there.
Who? Cliff has the eye tiger.
I didn't realize that. I know you mentioned that thing with the poison bottles, like that. So you found some though too, like on your, and like you sold them.
Oh yeah. So I was yard selling one day, and this woman had a whole box of cobalt blue bottles, and I was like going through them, and I was like, I picked out like maybe 5 or 10, and one of them was a poison bottle, and I got like $60 for that one, I think, and I paid 50 cents.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. Like, obviously, if you can find them with the labels still on them, that's like even a more value. Like, it's crazy. But like what's interesting is like, so with those bottles back in the day, they have like they're like ribbed or spiked, not necessarily spiked like how you might think when I say that, but the reason for that being is because if you were needed to grab a bottle in the night, or when this is when there wasn't necessarily, not everybody had electricity and stuff like that, you didn't want to grab the poison bottle by mistake. So like people would grab that bottle, they'd be able to feel that it was a poison bottle, which is like kind of interesting, but like also the ones that have the skull and crossbones on them, like that's like instant crazy good money in that. But like there's also like other ones that are just not like, you always want to look at the bottom of the bottle. That helps you date it, whether or not it's got a pontail on it, or if it's pressed glass or blown glass. The shape of the top, where because older bottles didn't have screw lids, so
Right.
corks and stuff like that. So that helps. And then like some people collect them based upon what is written on the side of the bottle. Like, so you'll have the name of the doctor, the address of the place where the bottles are from. So some people collect them if they say a certain place on them, so like, and some people just buy them to put, they're really beautiful if you line them up in the window, because the light comes in through the bottles and it's just like, it's a dope look. So like, that's one of the reasons why I like bottles so much, is because you're able to do 3 different types of demographics as far as who you're promoting to. You're promoting to somebody who likes something for decor purposes. You're promoting to somebody who's a collector of just bottles. You're promoting to somebody who's a collector of, let's say, the state of Massachusetts. So like, that to me is always one of the most clutch things in what I'm looking to sell. Is it because the more people of demographics and type of collectors that you can, reach in one product
Mhm.
makes it easier to sell than having to look for one person who collects this specific thing. And it just makes it a little bit easier, and it's easier to market as well.
And that definitely helps too when you are posting stuff like that on like the Instagrams and all that, because you're
Exactly.
bringing
It's somebody who might never think about buying a glass bottle, if I hashtag it Massachusetts or like a small city in Massachusetts, and they're like, yo, that's where I live, man. I'm going to get that bottle. I'm going to put it in my window. It's super fly.
yeah.
Swift Seller wants to know, how much bubble wrap do you put on glass when shipping it? So we have a shipping video. Go check it out. But besides that, we put one layer of paper, one layer of small bubble, and then one layer of big bubble. And make sure that when you're done with the big bubble, that it's almost enough packing where it can kind of bounce. But don't bounce it, obviously. Bounce like a little bounce, not like a big bounce.
You don't do a 3-foot drop test?
No. I mean, I feel like that's something you would see in a commercial, and at the bottom it says dramatization may have occurred during this commercial. Do not really drop from three stories.
It's like the guy in the beginning of Aladdin. Look, does not break. It broke.
Right, guys. Right. So we're almost hitting the 2-hour mark already. That's crazy. Guys, thank you guys so much for being here. Seriously.
Yeah, sorry if I talk too much, guys.
No, man, it's all good.
Yeah, it's a lot of great information.
Yeah, for real.
But like I'm just, this is how I am like all the time. Like I'm super, I really try my best to accurately reflect who I am all the time when I do these things. So
Love it.
So that way, like when you guys see me in real life, it won't be like awkward, because you'll be like, oh, I already know this guy. He's just like that in real life. This is awesome.
Same old Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And where are we at right now with you, Chris? How many subs we got you at now?
I'm at 960 right now.
960. What about you, Jody? You're creeping up there too, right?
I think I'm at 969. So
We're almost there.
yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Getting there, guys. That's what I like to hear.
You got, what are you for hours? You getting there?
Who, me?
Oh well,
Or Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
I was gonna say I'm far away.
Yeah, but
I think I don't know where I'm at right now, actually.
okay.
I know I'm more than halfway. I know that.
We're gonna peer pressure you into some more late night lives, Chris.
Oh gosh.
Those are always fun.
Yeah, I'm at 2,800 right now. Still have a way to go. But it's all good.
2,800?
Geez,
Yeah.
I'm at about
Nice.
2,700.
You beat me. Yeah, I'm at 2,700 as well.
Oh.
Wow.
Look at my watch time. I just need the subs.
Yeah, go
It'll
sub
come
to him.
soon.
Go sub to Cliff.
Goes up to Cliff, yeah.
And of course,
this way.
Tim.
Oh wait, wrong way. There you go.
This is always fun to do.
Yeah.
I wonder how many, see, them watch hours. It's gonna take some time.
Live is apparently the way to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is the thing is like, I don't want people to get tired of me. I don't want to ramble, you know. So I gotta wait until I can like I'm gonna do a whole bunch of crazy stuff during the weekend. So then like I just got all these stories to tell everybody when I go live. Because like I can talk for hours. Like one time I'm gonna do a live that's like half reselling, right? And then half like telling everybody about my previous life and all the crazy stories that I have. Because I got some stories, man, from my drinking days. Did you guys see the video of me the other night?
Which one?
Where is this?
There's a video of me when I was like fat and drunk. And I was at the Redskins game, and I was probably like close to like 300 pounds. And
Oh, wow.
I was like, you know, I was out like a light. And so I don't know what happened, but I was like, my boy was getting in trouble with the police, and then the crowd was going crazy, and like the song came on, and I was like, I'm gonna get the crowd to go crazy. So like I'm like standing on the pole, and it's just like 10 degrees outside. I take my clothes off, and I'm like standing on the pole, and I'm like waving my shirt around. I'm getting the crowds to go crazy. It's a wild video, but you watch it, you'll be like, there's no way that's Tim, but it's me.
Man,
so yeah,
it'd be nice if it warmed up to 10 degrees here.
Yeah.
Your temperatures always freak me out. Where are you at right now?
Where are you at right now? I'm at 1 degree Celsius.
It was nice here
Okay,
today.
it's about 20, 24.
So when does it like break into like not these temperatures that you can't go outside in temperatures?
Oh, I still go outside when it's 24. Hell, I'm still barbecuing outside when it's 0.
Yeah, but
you just have to keep the pork. You just have to keep the, you know, the preheat time is a little longer and the cook time is a little longer. You have to put some slippers on.
Nah, see, I can't, man. That's real cold.
Yeah, I barbecue year round. I just in the wintertime I scoot the barbecue a little closer to the door so I can flip the pork chops, you know, just with my arm out the front door.
Yeah,
I don't have to walk right out on the deck.
Take it outside the door like that, and then bring it back inside, like you're in a jail cell, you know, like one of those little slots.
You slip in your garbage bag under the door. Hey, can I get some hot water?
Kelly said it was 82 where she's at. I need to go where you're at, Kelly.
82. Wow. They're giving him shit. Holy.
Yeah, Ace is our dog, me and Josie's dog, and he gets a little crazy at times. You guys can't tell.
Hey, Sonny.
Hey, Sonny. So, guys, if you have any last-minute questions here in the chat, please feel free to ask them. We'll probably be ending this live soon, unfortunately. Like, oh, there's Ace.
There's a puppy dog.
Bedtime is. All right.
Thanks a lot for joining us today, Tim. Really appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm sure everybody appreciates it.
And I'm totally down to come hang with you guys anytime that you want me to go. You guys are amazing, and I am a faithful. I'm like an honorary Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got to do the national anthem next time. without
You did convince me to buy a UV light, so I placed my order.
I'm telling you.
15 minutes ago.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
You should have waited until he makes his.
Yeah. I'll wait. I'll wait it out. Don't worry.
No, don't wait it out. But
Hey, whether I order one from this guy or I order one from that guy, it's going to be the same result, right?
Yeah.
But that's supporting him,
But
though.
you're supporting that guy,
Yeah. Not some random.
not supporting that guy.
Some random punk
That
in
guy.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh, and
That's
one
where
more
I
time,
ordered it from, was some guy in Toronto.
I do want to wish Tracy a happy birthday again.
Yes. Happy
Tracy.
birthday again, Tracy. I hope it was a great day.
Yeah.
And I hope you have a great year.
All right.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah. I was going to sing.
Uh-oh.
You guys ready? We're all going to sing together.
All right. Are we?
All right.
3, 2, 1. Happy birthday
Birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy birthday to
We're just getting slower and
you.
slower.
It's very slow.
Happy
birthday.
Birthday,
Hey, dear Tracy.
happy
We're
birthday.
sorry for the
you.
train wreck.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by. We appreciate you, each and every one of you. Thank you again.
Have a great night, everybody.
Yeah. Next week we will be on Jody's channel, so don't forget to subscribe to Jody and Cliff and Tim, so that you get all of this crazy Canuck stuff that's going down. So
Canuck.
yeah, Canuck.
Canuck.
All right, so we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.
Bye-bye.